Yu-Gi-Oh! Mint.com is now TradingCardMint.com. Please check out their selection of over 20,000 cards with prices cheaper than TCG Player.
Alright, a lot of you were requesting this list last week, and it is finally time to give out the information about Deletor Rush. Now, so this is going to be based off of the OCG. I do typically scroll Twitter a lot for information. I like to put these decks together that we see on their side and test them. And this is one of those. There were a lot of Deletor decks. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's a lot of them floating around. I'm just not really sure on which variant is the best per se. So I do want to give a shout out to our friends at TradingCardMint.com and Zero the Damage Playmats. If you enter MCOL40 on the website, either of them, Trading Card Mint will save you money on your order of trading cards. And if you need a beautiful playmat like this one seen in this video, same thing. If you enter MCOL40, you'll save a little bit of money over there as well. So definitely a lot of cool opportunities available to you guys as well if you are looking to acquire some sort of cards, especially for stuff like this for all intents and purposes. So without further ado, let's dig on in to this bad boy. Like I said, this is one of the more interesting builds that I've seen as of late, so we definitely had to build this. So, yes, I know there are a lot of arguments for a lot of things in this deck. So, we are playing 4 copies of this one. Now, I do like this one. Don't get me wrong. I think that this one is good. There was a build that actually came up that was playing this one. And it was 3 of this and 3 Hufflepuffle and 1 of the Break Stride. But you have decisions you have to make. And one thing I like about this build is able to kind of do its thing while on the first time I ride to 3. So that's the advantage you kind of get with this. You get the force marker and you get the ability to delete while going first. Which, I mean, if your opponent bum rushes you, you're rewarded for it. And it's actually really good. So I think that this is not terrible. I do like this. Now, we play 4 copies of Hufflepuffle. Now, Hufflepuffle isn't, I know his name is Hack Deletor, but the original mistranslation was Huff Deletor. So anyway, Hufflepuffle here, Mr. Hack Deletor. He's actually probably your best option. My only complaint about him is he does conflict with one of the grade 2s I'm playing. I do like what he does. He's extremely good. The on-ride for Vanguard Circle, Soul Blast 2 Delete is really good, but sometimes, especially when you're playing the grade 2 that requires Soul, sometimes it's a bit of a confliction issue, especially, like, your starter's a Forerunner anyway, so, like, that's kind of something that you need to do and understand. But he also doesn't give a Force Marker, which really sucks. Yes, I did consider the idea of wanting to play just 8 of the new guys, but you still have to tutor for the turn that you do get into the 1 given. That way you do want to rush on your opponent. So, I mean, like, you have a lot of decisions to make. It's just kind of up in the air with which path you want to go on. Now, we are playing 4 copies of the old starter. I know, this is a lot. Don't get me wrong. So one thing I was noticing about this was we weren't really for sure, and you guys saw in the playtesting videos, we weren't sure if New Given worked with this guy. Yep, it does. Our boy Given gets to do whatever he wants with this. So one thing about this is in the turn that you slam down the Given for the mass restand, you do need to... Well, first up, this dead draws. Like, it's my one complaint about this card so far. If I draw this, and I don't have the means to delete or to do my combo, this is a dead draw. I was actually thinking about taking this down to 2. But, well, there was a list that was playing 2, but I don't know. In the turn that you get the rush, this card is broken, man. Like, there's no real explanation needed for it outside of that, but just the little things I've noticed when playing this. Now, this is where it gets fun. We are playing 1 old Given and 3 new Given. So the logic behind this is if I get to the clipping deleter for the Counterblast 2, I can bring out this Given as long as I've got appropriate damage. Which, don't get me wrong, this only works when I go first. That's why we're playing the 3 copies of the old Given. or the new given. New given is for the stride turn. This is for the turn that I have to ride to 3, which I can sacrifice the number for more appropriateness towards this, because one of it's fine. Like, if I have to ride this, oh fucking well, like, no real loss. But I do think, for the most part, that this ratio is perfectly fine. Like, I don't see any issue with this. I have noticed that the old given has been really good in the scenario in which I go first. If not, like, no real skin off my ass, honestly. Like, now, we do play 4 copies of clipping. Yes, I'm sorry, I did call clipping off clipping in one video. Fucking, it's not very often that it comes up that you have 4 counter blasts to call clipping off a clipping. Alright, sorry about that. But basically, if you're super rushed down, you can do this to get to new given. Like I said, it never comes up, except for the one time it does come up, and you're like, oh, well, okay, cool, glad I play this. And then, you know, obviously your stride turn, you're going to just go get this. I mean, you're already packing stand triggers out your asshole anyway, so it's like, your aggressiveness doesn't really fault with this. So it's one thing to understand is, like, your whole life purpose is just aggro and go. But it's dumb that they actually gave this to the deck. But I will say that clipping is so good. Last but not least, we're playing 2 copies of Swifty Boy. So the main complaint I have about Swifty Boy is he conflicts with Hufflepuffle. Hufflepuffle Soul Blast 2. I had one game where I had to actually ride this, and I was like, you know, I like a card, and then it's like, oh, you get to this, and you're like, well, you can't delete and do your thing. So he does conflict with that. Outside of that, though, if you don't need to do the Soul Blast, this is an aggressive monster. Like, oh my god, this card does work in matchups. Like, the free draw if your opponent doesn't have a board is nuts. Like, and he's a 10k base. Like, I would not play more than 2 of this, but I think for numbers and, like, card's hella good. Now, we're still playing 4 of the 10k. I like this a lot. In the turns that you want to get aggressive against your opponent, I'm sure in a lot of videos you guys saw every time I had this, we always write something dumb, call this, swing, you know, we hit the stand trigger, bada bing, bada boom, we got 3 damage in on our opponent, we forced something bad out of their hand. We did it. That's this card's whole goal in life. Turn 1 aggressor. Outside of that, he has no purpose in life. 4 of this card, yeah, you have to play 4 of it. Yeah, the Counterblast 1 comes up to call it. Yeah, it's a stride fodder. I mean, there's nothing else to this card. Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't come up as much as you would think. It's still good. You have to play it, like, especially for your delete turns. 4 of this guy. This guy is this guy. Sometimes 4K is important. I thought about playing the other one, but I don't know. It never really came up. You still need deleter names. Alright, triggers. It doesn't do anything. Look, it draws me a card. Look, it works with given. So yeah, we are packing 12 stands. And then we're playing the new heals because 10k. Weirdly enough, there's been one scenario where I wish I would have had old heals, but I like this better because 20k guard early game, and for the defense value, it's a lot better. And I honestly don't want to cut this. I think new heals are really good for this. So this is the aggressor, as I'm going to call it now. G-Zone. We are packing 4 copies of Audine. Oh boy, let me tell you about this guy. So this card is dumb because it lets you play bad. And if your opponent doesn't commit to the field, you're just going to eat away their whole hand. So I do think for 95% of your matchups, this first stride, I mean, sometimes you're not going to be able to get the power to good units, but I mean, that doesn't really matter. We will play the 1 copy of Iggy. Igorg is still Igorg. I mean, he's just your follow-up stride if you've got that far. 1 copy of our alternate strider if we need. We'll see how this starts changing when we start getting the Ultimate Nation strides in Premium. I'm looking forward to that. 1 copy of Amnesty. Literally same thing that this has been for the last 100 years. In the Link Joker matchup, we need to be able to unlock our shit. We get options now. Play 2 copies of Power Down the Opponent's Units to the G-Guard. 1 copy of Lock Something on our opponent's field. LOL, lock our entire back row. 2 copies of Destiny Dealer, or Destiny Guardian, to deal with unlocks. 1 copy of Elemental to stack up hands. And 1 Elemental Screw for defensive plays. I do believe that we are at 15. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, the last card is supposed to be a Stark. So, just in case of the one random time that we do get to that point in the game, that we can pull a delete and go for a game. So, yeah. So, there's that. So, guys, please check out our friends at TradingCardMint.com down below in the description. Same thing with our friends at Zero Damage Playmats. Enter MCO40 on checkout. You have a good chance to save a little bit of money. Hope this answers your questions about what we've been up to with this deck. It's a lot of fun. I do recommend it. So, alright guys, I'm out. Peace.
That's not all, card fighters. Please subscribe for more Cardfight Vanguard content. Please remember to check out MCO40 for Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos. And please check out MCOGames.com, my store, along with No Limit Gaming, NLGTCG.com for all of your guys' trading card game needs as well. Until next time, guys, remember to hit that subscribe button. Later.